Okay, now that we're on side 2 here, I've got a little bit better idea of what's going on and what to expect, so I feel like I might be able to actually explain something in case you come into a similar situation. So far I haven't ran into anything that's outside of a normal guy's wheelhouse of things to do here. So step 1, all these screws on the outside, they look like Torx. They're not. They are a number 2 square. It took me a while to figure that one out, but I finally looked it up, and sure enough, number 2 square head. So I believe I said on the other side that I originally went from 14 inches from this screw head. I ended up having to go a little wider out here because I'm just going to assume that we can see here, but there's some rot that's a little bit further. So luckily, measure twice, cut once. I measured from the end cut of this to the end cut of the other side at 18 inches after I cut it out, but luckily it'll still be under my 10-foot sheet. So I should be able to get 2 pieces out of my 4x10 because it's 24 inches tall. Cut it right down the middle, that's 4 foot, and Rob's your uncle. Anyway, 18 inches from the screw head. We'll go down right here, mark it at 24. Probably can't see me. 24 inches down here also, vertically. $18 inches horizontally. Now, with a straight edge, oh, I want to tape it first. Make sure you get the high quality. I'm going to go dramatically further past my first mark, peel out the tape. Let's see. Without sticking it to the side panel, find the center of your tape line, push it into the center of your mark, tape it. Now, because this is the cheap stuff, I can see my mark through the tape via the power of the sun. So now, take one of these things, protractor, angle of the dangle. You could even use a little square, but it might get a little tricky. I'm going to... This is terrible lighting, by the way. Anyway, protractor, I think. Compass, I don't know. It's a thing that tells you angles. 45 degrees. Come down here. How did I do that? That's for the other side. 45. Now, because this side, you're not going to have this one, but I can hook it on the bottom. Get a nice sharp line there, and then I will reverse it, flip it around. I think it's a song. Flip it. reverse, 45. We'll set that on the ledge there. I can't hold and do the stuff. So now we have the starting of a 45-degree angle. Oh, that's not as straight as it used to be. How about this way? Yeah, good enough. Set you back on the perch. Good enough. Line that up with the top edge. And then push in real hard. Hope that your line is straight. That was probably loud. So now, looking down, still can't see it, but it's definitely straight enough. Now we'll flip this over. 45 that way. Remark my 18 inches. That was correct. Put that on the bottom. I have my line to start. Okay. Now to double check, put that line here, that one there. Yep. I've got lineage here and lineage flat there. So now I feel better about that. I'm going to use a nice radius of this. To mark off my swoop on the front. Whoa! And then let's try because this screw is stuck in here, put the impact on it, it just hammered. I'm going to take my bit, stick it in the screw, tap, tap, tap. Hitting it with a hammer, if you couldn't see that. Now, because one of the back is the same way, I'm going to repeat the process. I should I don't remember if this one's stuck or if I just didn't take it out. Just put that anywhere. Yeah, check this out. Nice. Good job, guys. Not a care in the world. Now we have to take the lower trim off, and that one has to go the entire way. So we'll get the trim off. If I can't get them, I'll revisit my hack, dual meaning there, to get the screws out. Just one. Just one. So we'll show you how to do her here. Cutoff wheel. Completely plausible that you could just, you know, hack at that, cut the head off. But I don't like to leave the threads shank. I don't like to leave that in there. So take your grinder very carefully. Just give it a nice little nip. Just enough for the impact screwdriver to enter the chat. So we've got some good engagement there. Now if you don't know anything about impact screwdrivers, you should get one. Now there is a little bit of wiggle in here, and you turn in the direction you're trying to go to put pressure. You're not trying to turn it out. And then when there's like little ramps inside of here. So when you hit that with the hammer, it's forcing it in this way, and because of the ramps, it's going to twist the end bit here. So let's see if we can get all of this to come together in one shot here. So we got this wiggle, tighten or loosen. Just a little tension. Then you just whack it. Little tension. Okay. We started with that flat, so we know it's turning. Move on to a nice hard-edged bit on your impact. Line it up. It's a lot easier when you're trying to not film. And there you have one screw. Oh, I guess it was two. So I'll do it again. Alright, that one was much faster. Not that you know that because I didn't film it, because that's why it went faster. So look at this beautiful, now I pressure washed this the other day. Look at how much junk just fell out. Boy, high quality. You guessed it, 2 years old. Now for cutting the skin. Now I tried tin snips, not terrible, not great. Tried the big grinder, same thing, not terrible, not great. Left quite a bit of a lip. So we're gonna go with the old thin cutoff wheel. garbage. Look at this. This is inside your walls. This is what's rotting out your trailer. Grit, grime, lovely rusty bunch of coconuts we got here. Again, this could all be fixed. You could fix it with just a nice big old glob of silicone. Just, it bottles the mind, as they say. Okay, we got a little more progress done off camera. You know, Craigslist rebuild here. We got a freshly painted hitch. All sides came in this morning. Somehow missed an entire inside of the frame rail. But anyway, it's all painted. It's all black. You know, minimal tape off job there. But anyway, over here also painted. Painted it last night before I went home. It is now dry to the touch on both sides. And the next project that I had was this was all one sheet. It is 040, black on one side, white on the other. There is a plastic film on the black here, so it looks real nice under there, I promise you. Anyway, 4x10 sheet, laid it out. Big thing that I'm going to tell you. It's funny because yesterday I said measure twice, cut once. I cut once and got to thinking. I went up 24 inches from the bottom. Sounded like a nice good round number. It'd give me a nice little you know, whatever we're gonna call this, 4 inches above my fenderettes. Sounded like a good number, so I just went with 24. Laid it out, cut it. Laid it out, cut the other side. Got to thinking, 24 plus 24 is 48. Guess what 4x10 sheet is? 48 inches. So, we had one shot at that. Marked it out, measured 3-4 times, laid it out, did 45s. It's a 112 inch cut. I went 114 inches. So what we're gonna have to do is cheat it up only about a 1/4 inch on the bottom. Because of the way of the angles, everything works out. I'll end up with about a 3/4 inch overlap or underlap, I guess you'd call it. This glue here, it's some pretty good stuff, but I just took my Leatherman and just slowly cut, lift and pull, cut, lift and pull, and got enough of this glue cut back to where I can slide my sheet up inside of here. I then took the full sheet like this. I'll do this on the other side, but took this piece, slid it up in there, took some tape, lined that up, drew a line so I know exactly where it's going to be, both horizontally and vertically. Laid it up in there, and then I reached my arm up inside and I marked out the wheel well opening with a Sharpie. So then I just cut a little bit on the inside of my Sharpie line just to give me some wiggle room in case I need it. Now I have taken a Half Moon rasp and I cleaned up my corner a little bit. Just some light filing to clean up the edges. And then same thing here. In theory, that's going to be covered with some silicone or quad or caulk or mastic, whatever you want to call it. Goopy stuff in a tube. We'll get a nice tape line on there and peel it off, and it should look fantastic. Well, got the other side mostly stuck together. So far, so good. So we're going to go through a little more show and tell instead of just, hey, look what I did. Again, serrated blade. Leatherman works good because it's offset. And then you just pull back a little bit. Just kind of move this tape up and out of the way. So this stuff's flimsy, but when you snug on it, can you see the reflection changes? So put a little pressure. So then now you can see I'm up about 1.5 inches or so of cut glue, and then you just keep doing that. Just get the burrs knocked off the inside. Okay, now I will get the other piece and we'll start attempting a dry fit. And same thing, I'll deburr this here. Deburred. We got this panel fit in here. It's lining up real nice on the bottoms, front and back. I've got plenty of overlap, so I'm thinking some mismatch measurements from this side to the other, or the way the fenderette's set, that 24 inches from the bottom of the fenderette ended up being closer to 23.5, which is good on my end. Anyway, we got her fit. 2 pieces of vertical tape. Run a nice line down there. Nice line there. If you're really fancy, you can use a straight edge, but then you cut the tape right at your line. You now have registration marks for when you slide it back up there. Well, now for a new perspective. Laying on the ground, we can see the nice white fender, and then we'll just, now if a guy could do one nice hard line, that would be amazing. The other thing to watch out for when you're transferring stuff is if you point it way in there, you get a line in there, and if you tip it way out, I mean, that's going to be a huge line difference. So try to keep your pen, your marker, at the same angle of the dangle. Then we'll just get the top of the fender. Nice. Yeah, which one of those is the right one? So we'll just go from this one to the median line. Give that one nice hard line there. Then we'll just whoop, match that up. Same thing. Use that line there. The other side was cleaner, I promise. It was the trying to hold the camera deal. Anyway, Now I will carefully set this underneath. Like so. And same deal, cut this out with the cutoff wheel. Got the piece cut out. It's hanging out, sitting there waiting for this part. This is 3M's VHB TM tape. Bought like a 100-yard roll or something on Amazon a couple years ago for 75 bucks or something like that. This is what's left over from doing the back door on the bus. So that's what I'm going to use here. It's worked well on there. All I'm going to do is a freshly painted surface, nice and clean. So we will run it just about up to the top there on all the uprights. The tape does need some time to do its thing. So all we're going to do now is on the smooth side of the Leatherman here, rub that in. 3M recommends some nice fancy roller for $20 to do this. We're just going to call this good enough. Tape's on, backing or fronting. The tape protectant is removed. And now this is what's going to make the difference on this trailer lasting 2 years or 10, 15 years. It's right here in this tube, and I'm even gonna have to use 2 different colors. So if you know somebody or are somebody that works on Hallmark trailers in Indiana, just maybe you should bring this up at the next meeting. Anyway, take your HD sealant, run a real nice goop line. Right here. We're gonna seal up the seam. Let's seal up this seam. Got it all caulked up. Now I'm going to take the little plastic cover off just enough so I don't have to worry about it being in the seam because the glue won't stick to it. And then we'll just have Grandpa help me slide it in so I don't kink it because it's pretty flimsy. So. And then once you got her in there, get your tape lines lined back up, go around, feel wherever there was that 3M tape, and then just give it a good old push. And then anywhere that you put some silicone or quad, mastic, whatever you want to call it, squish that around. And I think what I'm going to do now that I know that I have enough of my VHB is I'm going to try and stuff some up in between the panels here where it's in between supports. Just a little long. Try cutting. Okay, now it's up in there. We will push it to connect it to the outer skin, and then I will slip off my little tail of a tape. And then now those are slightly connected. I'll have to have somebody help me and push those together, but this will do two things, is my plan. One, it'll hold it tight, and then two, it'll give me a little bit more of a lip to run my silicone across. That's going to hide, seal, contain my lines here. So I'm going to painstakingly continue to do that across. I'm going to do the couple in the middle, and then make sure that I have enough tape to the other side, bounce back and forth, so when I run out, I at least run out with an equal amount. That's about a wrap on this, really, other than pulling the pulling the film off there. Here goes nothing. Well, that's a thing. It's not the prettiest job I've ever done, but it's definitely not the worst. So, well, is this repair for everybody? No. Is there somebody out there that's gonna go, that is god awful, that is terrible, should have just junked the trailer? Yeah, I'm sure there is. But for a $124 panel, some leftover tape, some little bit of patience, by the time I get this decal off and go with the new decal on the side, I'll probably play off of that black there and get this thing out in the sun with the trim on, new screws, and I'll get a picture to wrap it up. And going down the road, nobody's gonna pick up what's going down here. So yeah, somebody's gonna say waste of time, blah blah blah, whatever. Budget. It is what it is. Hopefully I can save somebody some money. By watching this video, you can see that it really wasn't that difficult or hard to do. And it looks a heck of a lot better than rot holes in a 2-year-old trailer.